really close play at first base.
Stephen Milam ruling about at first base. The previous play is under review.
Stephen Milam from deep in the hole. Ronnie, there were some concerns about his ability to throw people out from that point on the field, but he has erased most of those this year. His release from glove to hand and release on the throw to first base is very, very quick. Let's take another look.
This is really close. You see Jones with the big stretch. Watch the green bag, and he looks safe to me.
He's safe on that replay.
Yeah, the ball not quite in the glove. Nicoletto gets down the line in a hurry. 6 foot, 190 pounder. He's an Australian by way of Columbia College. He's from Perth, Australia. That's over way on the west coast of Australia. And he got down the line pretty quickly.
After review, the runner at first base is safe. Missouri retains their challenge, still has 2 remaining.
So an infield hit for the first baseman Nicoletto. And a successful challenge for the Missouri Tigers. It brings up Brock Daniels. Daniels comes into the game hitting .286. 1 homer, 10 driven in. That's a strike. Matthew Wilbanks is calling balls and strikes. Eric Gaucher is at first base. Danny Cricks is the second base umpire. And Jeff Head is at third. The third.
Milan, he was too far off
LSU
the bag.
challenging ruling of safe at second base. Previous play is under review.
They're gonna check it. I don't know, by the naked eye from our vantage point way up above home plate. I felt like he was safe. They had him. Milan had kind of wandered off the bag. He's got to know the situation. This is awfully close, but is there enough to overturn the call? And yeah, oh boy, he gets him on the knee. Where is the spike? There you go.
They got it right.
Still has 2 challenges remaining.
The monster Milan knew right away. He's the one that told Jay Johnson to challenge it, and one went against LSU and the other went for the Tigers.
That'll go as a base hit, but a throw out at second base. 2 hits in the inning, but no damage done. Missouri 100, and a couple of those are well above 400. Derek Curiel in left field, Jared Jones at first base, Daniel Dickinson at second base. Josh Pearson is the right fielder, Stephen Milam the shortstop, Jake Brown is the DH. He was 2 for 2 with a double and 4 driven in yesterday, coming off the bench as the DH. Luis Hernandez homered yesterday. He's batting 7th and catching. Michael Braswell at third base. Chris Stanfield is batting 9th in center field. And that's a lineup that's going to be taking its swings against Will Libbert, the second of 3 left-handed pitchers scheduled to go as starters in this series for Missouri.
Well, the lefty is a super prospect, a guy who in high school had Tommy John surgery his senior year, so he was out all of last year. He's back healthy, had a healthy fall. You see, this is his 4th start of the season. ERA 5.5, but the fastball's electric. It's 91 to 94 miles an hour, and but the adrenaline and command, that's what Carrick Jackson, the Missouri skipper, is a little worried about today. Can he control his emotions, find the zone? If he does, he'll throw about 80 pitches max, as he's still sort of coming back from Tommy John a couple of years ago.
He's allowed 12 hits this year. That's about 1 an inning. He's got Curiel in front of him right here. Ronnie, there are 3 left-handed batters in the lineup today for LSU against this lefty, Libbert. But how about this for production, lefty on lefty? Curiel is batting .474, Pearson .429, and Brown .500 against left-handers. No real southpaw to southpaw advantage among those 3.
Yeah, but they're definitely stepping up in velocity today against Libbert, and of course yesterday against Los. They were challenged as well and came through past that test, as Losi was got banged around a little bit, but he's a good prospect.
Curiel has faced left-handed pitchers 19 times this year. He's 9 for 19 Pearson is 3 for 7. Brown is 3 for 6. Derek Curiel, even though he's a rookie, is developing into one of the best leadoff hitters in America.
I mean, we sound like a broken record because we say it each and every time, but I mean, as a true freshman, his on-base percentage now is right at about 600. I mean, that's incredible for a guy as inexperienced as he is.
And
65 at-bats.
He's also walked twice as many times as he struck out.
22 walks, 11 punch-outs now on the season. And that zone is definitely a hitter's zone at the moment. It is not a big one with Matthew Wilbanks behind the plate. These LSU hitters are able to kind of lock in right now and take the ones close to the corner.
Jones flicks that one foul. Jared Jones leads the team with 28 driven in and 7 homers. He's also doubled 8 times. 15 of his team leading 31 hits have been for extra bases. That works out to a slugging percentage of a whopping .845. .92.1 miles an hour on that fastball. Curiel takes a moderate lead at best at first. Jones flicks another one back into the net. Jones might have overswung a little bit on that one. That was a 2-1 fastball, 91 miles an hour, and you see Jones was swinging for the downs, and why not? His freshman year, 14 bombs. Last season he doubled that, so this year he's going to hit 56, right, Lynn? Because he doubles it each and every year. 56, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. But basically, he hit one every 2 games last year. And I think Curiel's rubbing off on Jones because his at-bats have been very patient and outstanding as well. 365 feet from the plate. Yeah, that was actually an impressive fly ball out by Jared Jones because that ball might have hit on the bat about 6 inches above his hands, but yet somehow the big fella had enough juice on it to get it all the way to the warning track. That was actually a very good pitch by Libbert. So here's Dickinson. Ball 1. Ball 2. Not going to be a good day for Libbert if he keeps falling behind these LSU hitters. They are getting advantageous hitters counts early in this game. Dickinson waits, crowds the plate, and hits a liner right to the glove of the third baseman. The throw back to first is not in time. That was a screamer down to Knutson on the hot corner. And let's check this defensive lineup for Missouri. Seals in center field is flanked by left fielder Daniels and right fielder Piccarelli. On the infield, it's Knutson and Lovich on the left side. Lawrence and Nicoletto on the right side of the diamond. Cerna is catching for the second straight game. And Libbert gets the start today for Missouri. 2 outs for Josh Pearson. Strike 1. Ronnie, going back to the Curiel walk, that means that he has been on base in every game this year. So Curiel doing what good leadoff men do, and that is apply pressure on the base paths. But in every game this year, he has reached at least once.
And this is an interesting situation. This will be a good time, Lynn, to turn Curriell loose. Not a big base stealer, but with 2 outs and a lefty Pearson at the plate. An opportunity to maybe think about sending him if you can guess right on the breaking ball.
I agree with you.
Because, I mean, worst case scenario, you lead off the inning with Pearson, who's obviously a guy who's been red hot the last couple of weeks, getting on base and a good base runner himself.
Pearson is batting .341. Tigers take an early 2-0 lead as Josh Pearson hits one.
Forget all that stealing and getting them in. Just play big ball. And that's the 3rd home run for LSU in this so far this weekend.
And that moves Pearson's average against left-handed pitching to 4 for 8.
Here's Milam, who had a homer yesterday. Hernandez and Milam both homered yesterday, and obviously Pearson so far today.
The monster out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. He's got a lot of family members here this weekend. (2-0) on the versatile Stephen Milam. There's a strike. Jake Brown is on deck, 2 outs. Milam sends a shot to center field. Seals is coming on, and he makes the catch. So Milam is retired to end the inning, but not before John.
In the dugout on the wall, he presents a scorecard to a player that represents the magic moment of the game, and it's usually uses it a teaching point. Usually it's a guy at a leadoff walk in the 9th when they're down a run and they ended up winning the game. It's not always an obvious thing, like the guy who hit the 3-run homer. Well, yesterday he had the scorecard with him in front of the team, the lineup card rather, and he said, you know what, we're not going to give away a magic moment card tonight. Instead, we're going to give it to Miss Sandy Bertman and Coach Bertman in honor of Miss Sandy. And when he comes to practice in next week or something, we're going to frame it and we're going to present it to him as a team. And Miss Sandy Bertman tonight gets the magic moment. And I thought that was really cool. He asked the players, "Are y'all good with that?" And they all, and to a man, said yes. And I thought that was a very classy thing for him to do. And as a former LSU Tiger, appreciate him doing that. You know, of course, one of the cool things he said in that speech, Lynn, was how the best part of his job is the relationship he had and has with Coach Bertman and, of course, Miss Sandy Bertman, who passed away Thursday night. And he said that's the best part of his job. And I thought he really was sincere with that gesture last night.
I agree completely.
And I know Coach is watching this game, and he's high on Ianson. You see the breaking ball right there. He has 2 or 3 different kinds of breaking balls. That's why Coach Bertman likes him so much, because, yeah, everybody throws hard, but he's got the 12-6 get-it-over curveball. He has the 2-strike bender he can throw in the dirt. He has a little slurve that he saw right there, and he's going to be special for the Tigers this year.
He has struck out a pair now, and here is Jackson Lovich from Overland Park, Kansas. Terry Lawrence, who plays second base, will follow. Ianson from the belt. Lovich waves and cannot find it. LSU leading 2-0 on a 2-out, 2-run home run by Josh Pearson. Lovich batting .328. He knocked one into the bleachers last night. Let's take a look at this swing, Ronnie.
Yeah, there was 0-0, and Lovich, wiry fella, drove that one oppo taco into the bleachers, and at that moment, Missouri was up 2-0, feeling good about him, and tied it back up.
Lovich cannot catch up with that pitch, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Ianson.
And you see Ianson, I mean, when he is on with that breaking ball, it is really good. I mean, just ask all the opponents he's faced this year. 35 strikeouts in 24 innings coming into this game.
And 3 so far, including 2 in a row. Here's Lawrence. Trey Lawrence came to the plate 3 times without a hit yesterday. He did walk once. That's a mitt popper, but it misses at 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, both fastballs 95, and they just missed. I mean, they were down in the zone just a hair.
Here's the 2-0. It's swung on and lifted into right field. Pearson is coming on. He locates it and he makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning, a very tidy performance in the top of the second by Anthony Ianson. And we move to the bottom of the second inning. LSU on a 2-run home run leads 2-0. It's of rain tonight. Ronnie, these are magnificent conditions for baseball here as we approach the start of spring in a week or so by the calendar. But a lot of water on this field this afternoon, but it just sucked off and just really percolated down through that sand and charcoal and gravel, and everything is really in good shape right now.
They do a tremendous job here at the box. The field itself drains extremely well, and of course they have one of the best crews in America, because it was oogle about 3:30 this afternoon. Terrible skies, just absolutely pouring, and now it's a Chamber of Commerce evening. Don't see that very often in LSU baseball histories, particularly over the last.
How about this for an early oddity? LSU needs a single to hit for the cycle. Tigers have had a home run, they've had a triple, they've had a double. They're doing it in reverse order.
Got a pretty good chance with this guy at the plate.
Curiel walked in the first inning.
LSU's played 19 games. This is their 20th game of the season. Curiel has started every single game, and he has now 22 walks. So that's over one a game.
And been on base in every game. 2 for 5 yesterday.
As well as he has 29 hits in those 19-plus games.
Well, he drove in 3 runs yesterday at the top of the order. Curiel has been murderous with runners in scoring position, but batting .526 in situations like these. There's a nice bender for a strike. Curiel uses that wide, slightly open stance. And he takes the pitch a little bit wide. Will Libbert has given up 2 in the first and 1 in the second. Curiel chops it to the right side, and he's retired by Lawrence, and the side is out. But the Tigers come back with a squeeze bunt, a suicide squeeze from Braswell, scoring Brown from third, and extend the lead to 3-0 as we go to the third inning here in Baton Rouge. Of 3.17. All the numbers are in the right place for the Tigers through actually about the first third of the season already. Keegan Knutson is at the plate, hitting .250 with a couple driven in.
Knutson out of Janesville, Wisconsin. That's right there by Beloit, Wisconsin, the southern part of the state near the Illinois line.
Did you play minor league ball up there?
In Beloit, yeah. And they, when the coaches talk about Knutson, they talk about his consistency. Kind of plays the game the right way. One of these guys that hustles on and off the field, and hasn't gotten it going really yet offensively. .250 at the moment, but he's one of the leaders of this team.
He was 1 for 4 yesterday. He nearly swung himself off his feet. Ianson has been given a cushion with a 2-run home run in the first inning from Josh Pearson and a suicide squeeze RBI bunt by Braswell, scoring Brown from third. 2-1 on the Missouri third baseman. Goldbeck is on deck. A moderate lead from first by Seals. He draws a throw. These teams will conclude the series tomorrow. Weather should not be a factor. That's a 1 o'clock start, Baton Rouge time. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss.
That was a nice fastball because of the angle. You know, very over the top, downward movement. That ball is really tumbling down in the zone with good tilt. Even at a hitter's count, plenty of juice to get past the hitter.
The 2-cent went up there cutting but couldn't make any contact. And that is strikeout number 4 for Anthony Ianson.
Now the release point and the look from the hitter is exactly the same. I mean, it looks just like the fastball until about halfway there when you realize, oof, that's not fastball spin. And it's just really good pitch by Ianson. He has just been locked in this year.
The runner bluffs from first base. And the pitch is off the mark to Goldbeck. Goldbeck tried to bunt his way on in the first inning and was thrown out by Braswell. Ianson transferred to LSU last summer after a couple of seasons at UC San Diego. The opponents batted .190 against him over the course of 82 innings in 2024.
And opponents are batting .186 against them this year so far through 4+ starts.
That is pretty salty, isn't it?
And the thing that's impressive today is Ianson's gotten off to a fast start. 0s on the board through the first 2 innings, because against North Alabama and Nebraska, his last 2 starts, that was not the case. He was kind of fighting an uphill climb after, you know, giving up a few runs in each of the first couple of innings against those teams. And here he is stepping up in competition against Missouri in conference play, and he has been lights out.
7 innings, only 2 hits allowed, couple of walks, 15 strikeouts. That was a career high in his outing March 8th against North Alabama.
That was a week ago. 15 punchies
in 7 innings. I mean, that's Rance-like.
Rance Bernard High days, maybe. But no, that was. And the thing about it is, again, Jay Johnson left him in the game, even though in the first couple innings he wasn't super sharp. He left him in the game, let him fight through some things. He figured it out and was on cruise control, dominating North Alabama a week ago.
Ianson's father is a college professor. His mother works in a chiropractic office. There will be no play on this. That's pretty close.
Boy, that was close. Ianson turned right at the perfect time as the base runner was taking one more step. And that made made the first base umpire think a little bit. Eric Gaucher over there.
That'll notch your shorts if you're trying to get back as a base runner. Here's the pitch. Close again, but safe. Ianson is one of 6 siblings. He's got 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Well, Seals is definitely helping the hitter by taking that aggressive lead at first base, because he has thrown over a ton, and you hope if you're Missouri that maybe it distracts Einstein a little bit and makes a mistake to the hitter.
The lead is a little shorter this time, but he's off with the pitch, and that is driven into right field on the hit and run, and Seals will easily make third. He'll put on the brakes there as the throw comes back to the infield. Seals jockeying for position from first, and eventually it pays off.
Yeah, Goldbeck got a breaking ball, not a bad one, just kind of a little bit too much center cut. And Seals with that aggressive approach. Real nice job that time at Missouri.
So 2 hits in the first and 2 more in the third. LSU will play at double play depth with 1 out and a 3-0 lead. A good hitter coming to the plate for Missouri, one of their best in Mateo Cerna. Einstein struck him out in the first. He's hitting .375 with runners in scoring position.
Cerna, who plays wide receiver with that number 88 jersey and also hits for the Missouri Tigers.
He had a late home run in the 8th inning last night after striking out twice and grounding out.
Yeah, Missouri did have 3 home runs in the game yesterday. Peer, Cerna, and Lovich all homered for Missouri in that 12-5 loss.
One ball, 1 strike, 1 on. Runners on the corners for Missouri. LSU got 2 in the first on the home run by Josh Pearson. And an RBI sacrifice bunt by Michael Braswell produced the other run in the second. It's a gorgeous evening unfolding for baseball here in Louisiana's capital city. The outfield is deep, maybe 2 or 3 steps deeper than normal, and pretty much straight away. That's a mitt popper, but it's inside.
All right. You tell me. I know we're not right behind the plate, but boy, that ball looks like it catches a lot of white. Now, Hernandez, I thought, was a little jumpy with that glove. You know, if you pull it too quick, you got to smoothly kind of frame the pitch. If you move your arm too much, even on a good pitch, it sometimes throws off the umpire, and he'll think you're trying to pull it into the strike zone.
Can I give you a little inside information on catchers framing balls?
And you were an outstanding catcher at Bolton High back in the day.
But
so go ahead.
I talked to a lot of umpires about this. When the catcher moves his glove, they're automatically thinking it's not a strike, because if it were a strike, you wouldn't move the glove. So it really works against you. Talk to any umpire and they'll tell you, if a catcher jerks his glove, if he makes the catch and moves his glove, trying to get it back over the plate, umpire's thinking that wasn't a strike, right, even if it was borderline, because he moved his glove. If it was a strike, he wouldn't move his glove, right?
No, I mean, that's, yeah, we're making the same point, no doubt. I think this is definitely a situation where your pitching coach is going out there waiting for the umpire, and he's going to,
right,
give him a little bit right there. You could see.
You see, we've got a monitor up here. See that with the arrow on it? If you'll punch that right there, that's going to give us a shot of the bullpen. Nobody's warming up right now. That's the LSU bullpen. I mean, I know this high-tech stuff.
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate you.
Did you see anybody warming up when you looked at the monitor?
There is not, nor do they need to have anyone warming up. Einstein's just fine. There it is. For those at home that were wondering what you're getting. By the way, the camera in the bullpen got hit by a ball from the catcher yesterday, throwing the ball back to the pitcher. Curious who that catcher was that made such a bad throw.
He might have been cut. Runner on first is moving. There's a ball that's fumbled around behind the plate. And that'll be a stolen base for Goldbeck. So this Missouri team,
they're applying the pressure right
here.
They are. They've got, their leading
at least a second out. And now we're going to have a gathering of the umpires. So the bases are full of Missouri Tigers. A base hit, a strikeout, a base hit, and a walk. And here's Nicoletto. One swing could propel Missouri into the lead.
Boy, Ionson's really got to lock in right here mentally.
Swing and a miss. And LSU's bullpen will indeed become busy now. William Schmidt and Connor Ware are both jogging to the bullpen.
Caden Nicoletto is the leading hitter, 388 average on the year, 3 doubles, a couple of homers.
There's a throw back to third, not in time. But Hernandez drawing the attention of Seals at third.
Kind of like the confidence right there. And Hernandez came out with a clear shot, made a nice throw down to Braswell in a tight situation with the bases loaded. He had the confidence to throw it down there and made it close.
Ionson delivers, swing and a miss. Ronnie, this is a bit unusual because for Ionson, this is a first this year. He has not pitched with the bases loaded until now.
Shows you how many strikes he throws. You know, he's only had 5 walks on the year.
The crowd coming to full throat. The 1-2 pitch. Fought foul. Nicoletto got enough of it to propel it into the net and remain alive. The count holds at 1-2.
I think you saw 2 breaking balls. Nicoletto swinging with a 0-0 count on the breaking ball in the dirt. I think that was just an eye changer. I think they'll go back to the bender.
Look how. And Seals scores, and Goldberg gets to third.
Yeah, Nicoletto, watch where his hands 12 inches off the barrel of the bat, way up there. It's Pete Rose type of 2-strike choke approach, and had plenty enough juice to get the run in and get, you know. But LSU will trade the run for the out in that situation.
Runners on the corners with 2 gone now. And here's Brock Daniels, who had a base hit last time. And this will be another chance for Stanfield. He's drifting back, feeling for the wall. He is up next to the wall, a step from it, and makes the catch in one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. So a shaky inning for the Tigers, but they get out of it. Leads the team with 28 runs driven in. Daniel Dickinson is just 1 behind. Stephen Milam has produced 22 driven in. Derek Curiel, and this is at the top of the order, has knocked in 19. Josh Pearson with 18 and Jake Brown with 15. All of those in double-figure numbers, and that's a lot of production through the first 19 games or so for LSU.
I mean, the entire LSU starting offense has been tremendous. You know, really the only position that there's sort of really a battle is third between Braswell and Reeves. And they're waiting for kind of one of those guys to kind of take charge. I think right now, Coach Jay Johnson's going with Braswell because he's had left-handed starters from Missouri each of the first couple of games. But everywhere else, guys are having outstanding years or starts to the season.
Jones sends this one up the elevator shaft, and it's handled by Lovich, the shortstop near second base. Jones has flied to right and now popped up to short, and it brings on Daniel Dickinson, who lined out to Knutson at third base last time.
Yeah, last time up, Daniel Dickinson hit the ball about as hard as you humanly possibly can. It was caught by the third baseman in self-defense.
Let's get you updated on softball that's being played not too far from here in Tiger Park. LSU trailed at 1-0 to Kentucky, but now leads 3-1 in the bottom of the third. Macy Bajaran has had a 3-run home run for the Tigers, and on the strength of that, LSU's softball team is looking to win for the second time against Kentucky in the series and has a 3-1 lead in the third inning right now. Dickinson out of Richland, Washington. Will Libbert remains in the game. The Tigers lead it 3-1. That's a high strike.
Here you see Dickinson, 359 average, 6 homers. The #2 Baseball America college transfer this past offseason out of Utah Valley.
He started all 59 games there last year. Was the player of the year, the all-WAC preseason second baseman. D1 baseball WAC preseason player of the year, all of this last year. Ronnie, he only missed 1 start in 2 years at Utah Valley.
A very durable player. Can play really anywhere on the infield. He's playing obviously second base this year, and D1Baseball.com had him a top 50 second baseman in the nation preseason.
We come your way in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A drive well struck to right field. Piccarelli goes back. He's on the warning track, and he makes the catch. That ball hit about 360 feet or so.
We're only in the bottom of the 3rd. We've had a number of warning track fly balls for both teams today.
We have. Here's Pearson, who did a little better than the warning track last time. His 2-run home run with 2 outs propelled LSU to the early lead.
Off the bat, it looked like it might be, fly ball, maybe close to the fence, and then it just kept going and going, had that backspin on it and ran it halfway up the bleachers.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on base, 2 outs. Lippert is trying to retire the Tigers in order for the first time. Pearson falls behind 1-2. LSU only hit 9 home runs in its first 10 games. But in the following 10 games, it has more than double that. It's had 22 homers in the last 10 games. One of those tonight.
Yeah, as the weather has heated up, so have the LSU bats. And today, today it's starting to feel like summer. It's hot and humid here at the box, and the ball is definitely carried out a little different yesterday and today.
The wind is blowing out, but it has subsided somewhat from earlier in the day, and really not much of that much of a factor right now. The 2-2 pitch is lifted into right field. Piccarelli was backing up. Now he is under it, and he makes the play. 3 fly ball outs for LSU in the 3rd. They go without a base runner for the first time. And we move forward with LSU's Tigers lead.
It's surprising.
Ianson has struck out 4. 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, and 1 in the 3rd.
Ianson, a guy who, based on his small sample size with LSU this year, gets better as the game goes on. And he worked out of a major jam last inning, bases loaded, 1 out, to just give up the 1 run. That was a reset button.
Lovich and Lawrence will follow. That pops the mitt for a strike. Piccarelli is working ahead now. He's 0 for 1.
They have that extra long glove, and
that ball looked like it drew grass to me.
Either way, that's a heck of an effort and a great job by Pearson, whether he caught it or not. I think he's telling his bullpen guys, nah, I thought I had to read his lips as he looked over his shoulder to his teammates over there in that LSU bullpen.
You know what? I'm still going to put a star by that one in my scorebook.
Well, you should.
But that ball appeared very clearly to hit the grass in front of just inches in front of the glove on the replay. Here's Lovich. He struck out in his first at bat.
the other way.
Trey Lawrence looks at a ball. He flied to right last time. Pierre Seals is on deck. LSU's infield at double play depth.
Lawrence at the plate, a freshman out of Palmetto, Florida. Had a couple of hits against Florida A&M back in February. That's his career high. And Hernandez showing off the arm today. He'll throw down to third, throw down to first.
Yeah, he's thrown to both corners, hasn't he?
He's nice and loose for the throw to second if needed.
Strikeout number 5.
We talk so much about the good breaking ball by Ianson, but when he locates that, I mean, look at that 93 outside edge. Well done on the 1-2 count. Hitter probably looking for off speed, and instead just gets beat by the fastball.
This brings on Seals. He had a base hit last time and scored the only Missouri run. Ianson has followed that 15 strikeout performance against North Alabama with 5 tonight. And we play in the 4th inning. 3-1 Tigers. Lovich has swiped a couple of bases this year. That pops the mitt for a strike. The outfield is pretty deep and mostly straight away for Pierre Seals.
You see Seals has the 1 home run in the season that came last night.
He sends a screamer to left field, and this one's going to bounce a couple of times against the wall. Lovich stops at third. Seals pull
left field. Seals, a senior out of Memphis, Tennessee.
That's his 4th double of the season. And we will have another gathering at the mound with Keegan Knutson scheduled to bat.
LSU does have Connor Ware, the junior lefty, up in the Tiger bullpen getting hot if needed. Big 6'4" left-hander out of Pearl River Community College.
And Ronnie, let's get a quick update of softball. They've moved to the top of the 4th inning, and LSU still leads Kentucky 3-1 on the 3-run home run by Bergeron. So we are back to play. Top of the 4th. The tying run is at second base. That's Seals. Lovich is at third. Knutson struck out in his only at bat.
Well, Knutson represents the number 9 batter in the lineup. He's hit 238. If he reaches base, you start back at the top with Goldbeck, the lefty leadoff, and I think you would probably see Connor Ware enter the game at that point. So it could be the last batter that Ianson faces today.
He falls behind with his first 2 pitches. 2 outs, 2 in scoring position. A critical moment in the game for both teams. That's foul pass first.
Knutson had 3 hits last weekend on March the 7th. Mentioned his name as one of the guys that the players follow. He does everything the right way, and that time put his team on top with a big blast. It's gotten hot the last week of the season, limited at bats coming in today, but that time delivered when they needed it most.
And we will have a pitching change right here as Missouri reaches Ianson for 1 in the 3rd and adds 3 more in the 4th on a 3-run home run by the 9-hole hitter Keegan Knutson, his first home run of the season. We'll come back in just a moment. Connor Ware makes his 5th appearance of the season. His record is 1-0 with a 7.5 ERA. He's been throwing mostly short relief, 9 2/3 innings, 5 walks, 15 strikeouts. And he's only given up 6 hits.
Well, Connor Ware is a guy who, you know, they had high expectations for going into the season. He was so good in the fall and inter squads and whatnot. And there's a lot of upside in this young man. 17 innings a year ago in junior college, ERA under 2. We're going to see the fastball is going to be in the low 90s. A couple of good breaking balls. It's just has to come in throwing strikes, command the zone. If he's feeling good and confident and can command the zone, his stuff's plenty good enough.
He pitched 2 seasons at Pearl River Community College in Poplarville, Mississippi. Everybody was lucky to survive that pitch.
Well, LSU was lucky that just didn't hit the batter, because I thought it did. It's like they're going to show bunt, and boy, that just missed the shoulder. Hernandez doesn't catch it or fully, and it hits off of the umpire. So the next one needs to be right down the middle, because you're not going to get a call. Whenever you nick the umpire, you got to be good on the next one.
He misses, 2-0. 2 outs, the bases are clean. A 3-run uprising for Missouri here in the 4th. And a drive to right field. Pearson coming on. This time he cleanly makes the galloping grab. And that's it for Missouri. Libbert, for the first time, is working with a lead. Milam dribbles 1 foul. He flied to center field last time.
Now, super important inning for Libbert. You know, his team has been swinging a hot stick. 7 hits through 4 innings for Missouri, 4 runs. And now it's up to him to kind of make sure if LSU gets him, they earn it. Not walk anybody. Attack these hitters and let your defense play behind you, because Big Mo momentum is clearly in that third base dugout at the moment.
The 1-2 pitch. Milam fights it off. And the monster lets that one pass. That levels the count at 2.
Boy, the monster with a lot of swag, huh, Lynn? He's got the high top spikes, the pink sleeve, the orange batting gloves, the camo Marucci bat, and the gold chains. Well, he's way cooler than you are, that's for sure.
Much. Not many people can wear that many colors.
And pull it off and play at a high level.
Right. The 3-2 pitch. He earns a walk.
Well, that's exactly what Carrick Jackson did not want to see. Right after your team has this great offensive inning and trailing, 3-0, come back, take the lead. You want that pitcher to go out and pound the strike zone, and LSU did a nice job of getting that leadoff walk-on, and they normally come around and score about 50-60% of the time in college baseball.
Now there are two aboard as Jake Brown is hit by a pitch.
Well, we'll see the bullpen get going in a hurry for Missouri now.
And as you speak, the Missouri Tigers are getting people loosened up in that bullpen. That's a breaking ball that just had no bite to it. Missouri doing everything it can to extend the warm-up time of its bullpen. I don't think we'll see a change right here, but it may not be long in coming.
They don't have a hot arm yet, but the catcher's putting on gear. You got some stretching going on. You're going to see, it looks like that's number 25, that Brock Lucas, the junior righty, will be the first guy to get loose and ready to go. Now Luis Hernandez is coming to the plate for the Tigers. Yesterday he had a second home run of the season. Remember, a year ago, over 20 blasts at Indiana State. And he hit it out to left center near the Tony Sachery sign yesterday. Let's see if he's got anything. And the wind is sort of blowing just a little bit out to center field.
Well, he's been stinging the ball in the last week and a half or so. Hernandez has hit safely in 4 consecutive games. He fouled out to his counterpart behind the plate last time, and he hits a rope deep to left field. It's grabbed a step away from the wall by Daniels. Milam alertly moves to third.
Now he just missed it. He almost hit it too well then. Probably got a little bit more right. I needed to get under it just a touch. Instead, he hits a stream of milk out there to left field. Milam, nice job just moving up.
Jake Brown held on at first. Hernandez tattooed that ball, but he couldn't get it over the head of Daniels.
Remember last time up, Michael Braswell with executed a suicide squeeze perfectly. We got the same pitcher and the same hitter, and a similar opportunity here.
A breakdown defensively for Missouri. That was a sacrifice bunt, no doubt, but nobody covered first base for the Missouri Tigers. So a suicide the first time, it was successful. A safety squeeze this time, it was successful. And we've got a brand new ball game. By the way, Ronnie, the Tigers have done it. We talked early about the possibility of hitting for the cycle, and that's exactly what LSU has done. It's got 4 hits, and in order, a home run, a triple, a double, and a single.
There you go.
That's a rarity, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
The pitch to Stanfield, off the mark.
If you're an LSU fan, you like to see them have three cycles tonight.
Yep. Brown at second base, Braswell behind him at first. And a strike to Stanfield. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 in. LSU has scored in 3 of the first 4 innings. Missouri has scored in twice in 2 of the first 4. And the pitch. That's a good take.
Boy, that one was really close.
It really was.
The 2-ball, 1 strike pitch was called a strike up in the zone of, I thought, the same spot and that was called a ball.
Here's the payoff pitch with one out. The runners are not moving. An out at third. There's a chance for a double play. High throw, but it pulled the first baseman off the bag. Nicoletto was not able to get that toe back on the canvas. So Stanfield is safe on the fielder's choice. A 5 unassisted put out for the second out.
Now this was an opportunity for Missouri to get out of the inning, and instead they're not able to do it on the errant throw. It won't go as an error, but Nicoletto over there at first base listed as 6 foot. I'd like to put a tape measure on him. It might be more like 5'10". The Australian not able to catch it and get back to the bag in time.
Here's Curiel. Steve, strike one. He has walked and scored and grounded out. Second to first to end the second inning. Braswell and Stanfield on base. That was not Curiel's best swing. A good pitch by Libbert.
One of the better breaking balls of the day by Libbert.
Ooh. Curiel is hit, and that loads the bases. That's 7 times in 13 innings. Make it 12 innings that the Tigers have been hit by a pitch.
Is that the second or third hit by pitch today?
I think it's the second. Brown was hit. Curiel was hit.
Yeah,
the crowd starts to buzz. The bases are loaded, and the Bear ambles his way to the plate.
Yeah, we're going to have a pitch and change. You know, they're going to make a move to a righty, to a fresh arm to face Jones, because Libbert looks like he is kind of teetering right here, and this is probably the right move by Kerrick Jackson to at least take, give yourself a chance with a fresh right-handed arm.
Worked 3 2/3 innings, and we have a pitching change right here. We'll take a time.
Now Brock Lucas, tell you a little bit about him so far. It's a guy who's he's going to a couple of different places, which is really interesting. A number of Mississippi State, A&M, Memphis, and now Missouri.
He's allowed 22 hits in those 17 innings, an ERA of near 7. He's allowed 4 home runs and 3 doubles. But his task is to face Jared Jones, and the crowd is buzzing. Jones waits, leans back, and takes a cut and nubs one foul. He's hit safely in 4 straight games. He's 0 for 2 tonight. A fly ball to right field, a pop up to the shortstop. Here comes the LSU cheer.
It's the preseason All-American.
Check it. And let me correct myself. It's Curiel at third base.
Jones came back to LSU for these moments, right? And they were glad he did. Bases loaded, a couple of down. That pitch was in this year. Correction on the pitcher just came in. I was talking about another reliever. There's Lovett, who went to a couple of different stops, played for Kerrick Jackson at Memphis prior. This young man on the bump, Lucas, played for Missouri last year, was a big part of their bullpen.
And Ronnie, how about Jones with the bases loaded this year? He's 3 for 7, and he's now driven in 6 runs.
I think LSU offensively as a whole with the bases loaded this year has been sensational.
Dickinson. That's called a strike. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Milam has scored. Braswell has scored. Stanfield has scored.
Lineup does not give you any room to breathe. You get through Jones and okay, we faced the big guy. He kept it in the park, and then all of a sudden, another high draft pick, preseason, All-American, and Dickinson steps to the plate.
He sent a screamer into Knutson's glove at third and flied to right. That's a strike in the bottom part of the zone. Will Libbert went 3 2/3. He was lifted here in the fourth. Three and two, 2 outs. Jones will be moving from first base. Pearson is on deck. We will do it again with a full count.
Now Lucas this year has given up a few more hits than he would like. A year ago he had 18 appearances, a 4-0 record. Worked 39 2/3 innings for Missouri, and one thing he does do is throw a lot of strikes. 17 punch-outs, 5 walks coming into the day.
That screamer bounces off the base of the premium seats down there on the left side.
Those premium seats are pretty nice, but they eat up a lot of real estate down there. Imagine being the visiting team. What a tough bullpen it is, right? You got the fans on one side giving you a hard time. You got fans behind the catcher.
There's ball 4. The bases are FOT, full of Tigers. LSU is batted around, and it's Josh Pearson coming to the plate. He had a 2-run home run in the first. He flied to right field last time. This is the 9th LSU Tiger to come to the plate. Batting .349 as he stands in.
More aggressive, right? Because they're the quarterback. They are the one in charge. The center fielder is the one who sort of dictates to everyone else who's going to catch the fly balls.
So Cerna is retired, and Nicoletto, who has an infield hit and a sacrifice fly to center field, comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1. We are delighted you have chosen to spend some time with us on this gorgeous Saturday evening as it unfolds in Baton Rouge. Call a buddy or two and let them know the game is on. Make sure they are among the audience. We've got a good ball game working. LSU 6, Missouri 4. The Tigers won 12-5 yesterday.
That miss was way up there by Connor Ware.
LSU has been out hit 7-5, but has a 2-run advantage.
Ooh, right off the helmet.
Yeah.
That's not going to give Jay Johnson a lot of confidence. These misses just on fastballs have been sort of all over the place.
Listen to this. Well, we didn't have the sound up, but that was a conk. There it is.
Ouch. Caught him just right, though. Nicoletto was fine, and I think LSU's buying some time for William Schmidt, the freshman righty out of Catholic High, who's warming up in the bullpen. Schmidt only threw 1 inning on Tuesday, and so he's more than available and ready to go.
There's that bullpen shot. That bullpen is located under the bleachers in the extreme right field corner of renovated Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. You know, another venue that got renovated was the Auburn Field. And it's kind of similar to this now. They put a deck up on that Fenway Park replica left field fence. They put a deck up there, really nice, and also some premium seating like LSU has done at field level. Ronnie, just think of all the changes that have been made in the venue since you played. I mean, it's like going from the sandlot to the major leagues.
I mean, Auburn back in the early 90s, as good of a team as they've had at different times throughout the years. And, of course, you go back to the 80s with Bo Jackson, Frank Thomas, Greg Olson. It was like a high school field back then. And now it's not a giant ballpark, but Plainsman Park is beautiful.
Every seat there is chair back. And it only holds right at 5,000 or so. But great sight lines. A lot of palaces are available for SEC baseball. Brock Daniels with a 1-2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. No, he got a little piece of it. Daniels is from St. Louis. He had a first inning single and a third inning fly out to center field. Connor Ware rocks, he fires, he misses with a breaking pitch.
Just missed in the upper part of the strike zone.
Piccarelli is on deck.
And his confidence and all, and as well as another lefty's on deck. So Jay Johnson's hoping that Connor Ware can get through these lefties.
That's his first strikeout tonight. The starter Ianson had 5. That's a high zone bender for a strike. 3 homers for this young man. 14 driven in and a solid average of 355. 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out. And he sent that sinking liner out to right field that was ruled a catch by Josh Pearson. With Pearson leaving his feet to make a diving catch. The replay may have shown otherwise. That will allow the runner to move up. That's a wild pitch. That one got into the dirt before it got to Hernandez. Piccarelli out of Eureka, Missouri. Hernandez makes sure all the equipment is in place. And he squats to receive the 2-1 pitch. Lovich is on deck. 2 outs. A 2-run lead for the Tigers of LSU. Steve right. That one would have been a strike on a bowling alley. The head pin would have gone first.
Now Piccarelli, one of the top recruits out of the state of Missouri a year ago, off to a good freshman year, could help his team in this spot.
Look at his stance, Ronnie. He's very casual. He almost faces the pitcher.
Yeah, has that,
and then closes it just a little bit with the delivery on its way.
Yeah, he had 443 last year in high school. Gotten off to a good start this season, and very open stance. The hands down, just kind of, as you mentioned, casual approach. Wants to see the pitcher really well, and then as he lifts his leg, he closes up.
Ciccarelli strikes out. Connor Ware comes back to leave.
Twos in the country, different polls. Just a shocker that the struggles they've had early on in the season. Now 10-8, 0-2 to start SEC play.
Milam hits it to his counterpart. A wild throw from shortstop. Lovich missed by a lot.
Yeah, this is just every once in a while, ball just slips out of your hand completely, and that's exactly what happened. This is a routine ground ball. Even had a Sunday hop there at the end, and Lovich just airmailed it.
And they're going to give him second base on the overthrow.
What a
as the ball went into out of bounds territory. That's what the Missouri coaches were talking about before the game yesterday. Their defense has been very unsure. Here's a drive that is foul in the corner in right field.
Now Missouri, through 17 games, Lynn, had 23 errors compared to LSU through 19 games, 13 errors.
That's high to Jake Brown. He's tripled and scored. He was also hit by a pitch. Hernandez is on deck. LSU is trying to extend a 6-4 lead. Brown is from a place in Louisiana where they play a lot of good baseball and softball. But that Lake Charles Sulphur area for a long time has been known for state championship teams, contenders, and a lot of good ball players.
Now Jake Brown too, he has transformed himself from the first year to his second year. Got much big strikeout from Missouri, but he's a guy who's just probably, I don't know, 20 pounds more, 10 pounds more, but all muscle. That time that sinker just got underneath the bat.
To punctuate your point about the Missouri defense, before today it was fielding at a 962 clip, and that's not good enough.
Yeah, you need to be 970 or above as a team. LSU, on the other hand, 979.
Hernandez homered last night, 0 for 2 so far tonight. He fouled out to the catcher and he lined out. He hit the ball very hard last time and sent a screamer into the glove of Daniels in left field. He loaded up but missed on the swing.
Pretty good sinker right there. We've seen a couple of those. That was 84 miles an hour at the bottom, fell out of it.
There's a fly ball to deep center. Seals is retreating, now moves to his right. He's got it. Milam tagged at second base and scoots up to third. Milam has excellent base running instincts, doesn't he?
Definitely technically sound and made it easily. No, sometimes you could say, well, why with one out would you go ahead and tag up in that situation? It's like, well, if you read it off the bat correctly, and once you see the outfielder is positioned behind the baseball, go ahead and tag up. He made it easily without a throw.
Now he can score on a pass ball, a wild pitch, an error, a balk. Braswell has bunted twice and produced 2 RBI with those bunts. A sacrifice bunt on a suicide squeeze in the second, and a safety squeeze was successful in the fourth. 2-0. The outfield is very, very deep in left and right. And I'm talking about just a couple of steps away from the warning track. Steve, right. 2-1 on Braswell.
Well, there have been a lot of conversations between hitters and the home plate umpire, Matthew Wilbanks tonight. As people are, was that up? Was that good? Where'd you have it? That's the very nice way of questioning a call.
Yeah, that's a safe way of doing it. It's the gentlemanly way to do it.
Correct.
That's the way you do it in genteel fashion. And it keeps you in the game. That's nub foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner at third in Milam. LSU leads by 2. Brock Lucas came on in relief in the 4th inning. That wind has picked up a little bit and blowing left to right, out toward right center field for the most part. The 2-2 pitch, high and tight. Milam takes a safe lead from third. That takes a left turn just before it gets to the bag, and it's a foul ball.
Keegan Knutson with a nice little play, even though it didn't count. Foul territory. I mean,
let's go back and look at Braswell's perfect execution of the 2 bunts earlier.
now the suicide at the bottom of the order has been mega productive for LSU. Braswell, we talked about his night. Stanfield with a couple of base hits at the bottom as well.
Yeah, they've driven in 3, those by Braswell. And Stanfield has doubled, scored, and singled. Stanfield now has 6 multi-hit games in an LSU uniform. Here's Curiel at the top of the order. He has walked, he's been hit by a pitch, and he's grounded out. He doesn't have a base hit, but he has extended his on-base streak to every game this year. That's pretty good, Ronnie.
Sensational. You know, he's the preseason All-SEC Freshman of the Year. And it's early, but there's nobody making more of a case for that title than he is.
So in every college game he's played, he's reached base. A nice play by the second baseman Lawrence, moving to his left. He retires Curiel. But LSU adds to its lead on an RBI to LSU with great credentials in high school. 5 appearances, a 3-0 record, a 1.35 ERA as a rookie. Now he has only worked 13 1/3 innings. His control has been good, 3 walks, 16 strikeouts. And William Schmidt on here in the middle innings for the Tigers.
Now, one of the most highly touted players ever to sign with to actually end up on campus for LSU out of Catholic High Baton Rouge, just 10 minutes away from Alex Box Stadium. And Jay Johnson on a local ESPN radio show on Fridays and a phone interview said you may not see William Schmidt ever pitching on Tuesday night ever again, or at least started on a Tuesday night.
And he only went 1 inning.
Referencing the fact that this guy is too good for the midweek games. He's probably going to make his career, pitch the rest of his career on the weekends. We'll see. This is an opportunity here in the 6th where he is rested enough. He could, in theory, if he's on, pitch the rest of the game here.
Jackson Lovich is the first hitter. He's 1 for 2. He scored a run after producing a base hit in the 4th.
96 miles an hour on that offering.
So it's Ianson, Ware, and now Schmidt for the Tigers. That's thrown hard, but high. Again at 96. The 1-2 pitch. Jammed him. And we remain 1-2.
This young man has got to be so pumped in this spot. He's a guy who grew up an LSU Tiger fan. He knows what this moment means. He knows what, pitching at night in the SEC and Alex Box Stadium is a special thing. And this is his first time ever getting to do it. So that the heart's beating fast. Mom and dad are nervous up in the stands, and he's got to control all of that adrenaline here and make sure he locks in. He's got great control, but these are the moments where you got to rein it in.
The 2-2 pitch over the top and high. Each team has 7 hits. Missouri has 1 costly error. Tigers lead at 7-4. LSU's Tigers. The 3-2 pitch. High, and Schmidt walks the first batter he faces after getting ahead.
Yeah, he was ahead 0-2.
Knutson has a 3-run home run. Seals has produced a couple of base hits, including a double. Pearson has a 2-run home run. Braswell 2 for 2 with 3 runs driven in. And each team with 7 hits, LSU leading by 3. But Missouri hanging around and certainly showing the ability to come back. Schmidt has walked the first batter. Now he works from the stretch. That's a strike on the outside edge and just below the letters. Trey Lawrence, a freshman from Palmetto, Florida. 0 for 2 tonight. He has fly to right and struck out. One and one.
Change up that time. First one we've seen from Schmidt tonight. Now that ball was hit sharply, and Milan with a great turn, with a nice feed up around the chest to make the turn easy for Dickinson. Well handled by the shortstop.
Those middle infielders have turned in some impressive work this season already. There's a hummer at 95.5. Seals can't catch up with it.
And boy, as a pitcher, when you walk the leadoff guy and then get a ground ball double play, I mean, that's just, I mean, Schmidt might want to run over there and give Milam a hug.
Oh, you
know,
bet.
I mean, that's a good feeling.
There's some heat in the mid-90s. 0-2 now. Milam just shifted about 3 steps to his left. Seals fights that one off. It was nearly by him.
See, 16 and a third innings, 19 strikeouts, 9 walks. ERA under 5.
He's given up a hit an inning, Ronnie. 16 hits.
And he's going to have to throw some zeros up, because the way William Schmidt looked last inning, He's going to have to do his job and give, because William Schmidt's not going to be giving up a bunch of runs.
Jacoby has been touched for a lot of extra base hits. Half the hits he's allowed have been for extra bases. 1 homer and 7 doubles. Jones grounds out. He's 1 for 3. Make it 1 for 4. And Daniel Dickinson comes to the plate with a line out, a fly ball to right, and a walk.
Jacoby's last time out, he threw on March the 9th against Binghamton, got the loss. Went 2 innings, 4 hits allowed, 5 runs. Only 2 of them were earned, though, and had a couple of walks. So trying to shake off that performance 6 days ago.
Libbert went 3 2/3. Lucas 1 1/3, and now Jacoby. Each team with 7 hits. There's a screamer up the middle, a base hit. Dickinson collects his first hit of the day, and it was a liner right back from whence it came.
Take a look right here. Fastball off the bat faster than it came in, that's for sure. Hard to get through that part of the lineup unscathed when you're talking about Jones and Dickinson and Curiel in front. Seems like at least one of them is going to get you, Lynn.
Here's Pearson. He had a first inning home run. He's 1 for 3.
The exit speed on that base hit by Dickinson was 104. So fastball comes in the low 90s, leaves over 100.
That's a sizzler. Dickinson takes a short lead from first. Pearson waits and lifts one out of play. The LSU softball team has come away victorious. It's over at Tiger Park. LSU 6, Kentucky 4. That's the final. The Tigers have won the first 2 games in that series. Sydney Berzon came out of the bullpen to collect the win. She's 11-0 on the year. 2 big home runs for the Tigers, one by Macy Bergeron. That was a 3-run homer early. And later, Tori Edwards, who is the team leader in home runs, had a 2-run homer. This will fade into the glove of Seals in center field with the second out. So LSU remains only once beaten on the year in softball. The same holds true for the baseball team. And Ronnie, both of these diamond sports for LSU are rated in the top 5 nationally this week. It's the only school in America that has that designation. 1 loss for the softball team, 1 loss for the baseball team, and both ranked in the top 5. Here's Milam. He's so fun to watch. Fundamentally very sound, very alert, switch hitter, can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Plays a very good defense, whether it be shortstop or second base. Shortstop is his natural position. It's the one he's played all his life, with the exception of second base for LSU last year.
I think each and every game that he plays, he looks better and better at short.
There's an out at second, and that's all it takes. Milam ends the inning on a fielder's choice. So the Tigers do not score, but they carry a 7-5
ticket next weekend when LSU takes on Texas in Austin.
This is foul. A screamer yanked down in the left field corner, but foul.
And it's going to be a wild one. Jim Schlossnagle in his first year as head coach over at Texas, after shocking the world, after leaving Texas A&M a couple days after the College World Series.
Former Tiger pitcher and coach there as well.
Yeah, Nolan Cain on the staff, of course, over at Texas. So that will be the premier matchup in the league next week.
By the way, we've got a birthday boy, don't we, for the Tigers today?
Ethan Fry turning 21 years old today. We'll see if he gets in the ball game.
Not
that one.
A power explosion at the bottom of the order for the Missouri Tigers. Keegan Knutson struck out in the third. Since then, he's hit 2 home runs and driven in 4.
4 ribbies. He has kept them in this game.
He'll be batting cleanup tomorrow.
And then Schmidt trying to figure out the grip on that changeup. Went back-to-back changeups and is falling behind now, 2-0.
Every time Missouri gets a base runner, it brings the tying run to the plate. So you get the feeling that LSU has been in control in this game, but there is certainly work to be done.
DJ Primo starting to move around over there in the LSU bullpen. He's just starting to get loose.
Did you sneak a look in our bullpen camera? There he is.
Is it okay? Can I mean, that's what
Certainly
it's there
you
for,
can.
right?
Certainly you can.
Okay. DJ Primo pitched yesterday in relief. They got a couple of outs. And a Central High product of Baton Rouge looks like he's getting loose in a hurry. And this is unlike William Schmidt to struggle with command. He walked the first batter he faced coming in relief into the ball game in relief, and then right here he's falling behind 3-0.
Garrett Goldbeck, 1 for 3, and he's aboard. And things are not going well for William Schmidt at the moment.
Interesting dilemma right here for Jay Johnson. He's got in the middle of the lineup a couple of back-to-back lefties, 2 of their best hitters. If you're going to get Primo, bring Primo in now, you got to go out and talk to him, buy some time. It looks like they're going to let Schmidt roll.
The first 2 Missouri Tigers have homered and walked. And here's Mateo Cerna. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. There's a good changeup. So he didn't abandon it, Ronnie.
Well, that's the value and the benefit of having a coaches call the pitches, because they're going to, as a pitcher, you probably wouldn't throw the changeup right there, but the coaching staff have the scouting report and they're going to make you do it, and it worked.
That's an off-speed pitch as well, but it misses. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mateo Cerna. The infield is at double play depth. It turned 1 last inning. 2-1. We are at Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field, under the lights in Baton Rouge. We are absolutely delighted you have chosen to spend some time with us. Thank you for being part of tonight's SEC broadcast. Ronnie Rance, Lynn Rollins with you. No place we'd rather be. Schmidt to the plate. 3-1. It's getting a little dicey now.
Yeah.
Nobody out, a run in
Most likely
on Knutson's second home run of the year and the season. I should say of the game and the season. That is ball 4. A home run and back-to-back walks. And the water is bubbling around William Schmidt. The right-hander warming up now as well for LSU.
I think you're going to see DJ Primo right here. Carrick Jackson having a word with his big slugger, Caden Nicoletto, who came into the ball game batting .388. That's just helping DJ Primo get loose.
Schmidt walked a batter when he came in the 6th. His defense turned a double play around for him, and then he struck out Seals. But Knutson has opened this inning with a home run and back-to-back walks to Goldbeck and Cerna. And Schmidt remains in the game with Brock Daniels on deck. That may be a premature statement because here comes Jay Johnson. He was milking as much time as he possibly could, and he's going to go get Primo right now. So it'll be Primo coming out of the bullpen to face Caden Nicoletto. We've got ourselves a ball game. LSU hanging on to a 7-5 lead.
Well, last night Primo threw 13 pitches, faced a couple of batters, had a strikeout, and didn't give up anything else. So he did his job. 2 up, 2 down, and he is a kind of a situational lefty guy. And you see the workload: ERA under 2, 5 2/3 innings, 6 Ks, 3 walks. This is already going to be his 8th appearance of the season. The Tigers have only played. This is the 20th game of the year.
He's only allowed 3 hits. He is a situational left-hander who's averaged way less than an inning per outing so far.
He's facing the leading hitter on this Missouri team in the Aussie, Caden Nicoletto.
Was hit by a pitch in his last at bat.
You see the batting average now on the season up to 400 in 50 at bats.
He's got 2 teammates aboard via the walk after the home run by Knutson. Ball 1. Daniels is on deck. LSU's infield looking to turn a double play. That's a late swing and a miss. LSU's hideaway bullpen is still busy. Primo to Nicoletto. Nicoletto around a bunt. He does not have a sacrifice this year.
A couple of lefties in a row for Missouri. So DJ Primo in there to get those lefties.
Now look how much Nicoletto has choked up again. We'll show you that right now. He has really changed his grip with 2 strikes.
You know who else used to do that? Pretty good lefty hitter by the name of Barry Bonds.
Oh yeah.
He was one of the all-time greats. You see Nicoletto clearly about 3-4 inches off the knob of the bat. Helps you control the bat end, and then right there Primo hits him in the back. That is not what he was trying to do, trying to actually go away. Watch Hernandez setting up on the outside corner, and he misses back by a couple of feet on that offering.
So a home run, a walk, and a hit batter. The bases are loaded as LSU is clinging to a tenuous lead here. Ianson, Ware, Schmidt, and Primo have all been on the mound for the Tigers. And we'll get a decision right now. Primo will stay in the game.
I mean, it's a tough call for Jay Johnson because you're up 2. It's only the 7th, and Missouri has a lefty at the plate, a lefty on deck, and you kind of want to have Primo give him a couple chances here before you go to Newt or anyone else who's warming up. The case in Evans, they're up in the bullpen, but you'd like to see Primo get you a batter.
There's no place to put this guy. Brock Daniels has singled, fly to center field, and struck out. Missouri is trying to take the lead for the 2nd time. There's a strike and a much needed one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brock Daniels at the plate. The bases are loaded. Nobody out. LSU. That bouncer was handled by Milam as he was scooting to his left. And the Tigers get 2 outs. A much needed 2 outs.
And boy, that was a big spot.
That's about the best you can hope for in that situation. A run did score. But 2 outs now, and here is Piccarelli. He has struck out twice and also hit a sinking liner that was caught in right field by Pearson. 1 ball, 1 strike on the wide delivery. The Missouri Tigers have been resilient tonight. 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 7th to pull within 1. The Tigers of LSU got 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. And right now, that's the difference in this game. Three and 1. Jackson Lovich is on deck.
Elo 3-1 high heat. Piccarelli, borderline ball strike, swung right through it.
The 3-2 pitch. Tight, and the inning is extended. Primo has faced 3 batters. He's hit 1. The Tigers rolled a double play behind him, and he's walked another one. Here's Lovich. A strikeout, a base hit, and a run scored on a walk.
And Lovich has been hot, and we're going to have a pitching change. Been red hot. Had a homer yesterday, base hit today, and he's a right-handed batter. Tigers have options. They've got Newt and Case and Evans down in the bullpen.
This will be the 3rd different pitcher that Lovich has faced tonight, as Jay Johnson makes a call to the bullpen. So we will come back. We've got a cliffhanger working in Baton Rouge. LSU 7, Missouri 6. And we will return with more action in just a 6'2", 194-pounder. He enters a 1-run game, with Missouri having scored twice in the 7th to pull within 1. 7-6 Tigers of LSU.
Probably a little sooner. They probably entered Case and Evans a little earlier in the game than they would like. Like to throw him in the 9th, maybe the 8th. Here he is in the 7th. He's been outstanding this year. This through 6 appearances, a total of 10 innings. He has punched out 19 baseball batters and only 3 walks. So the command is there. That's exactly what they need right now, with runners at first and 3rd, and 2 outs. LSU has been its own worst enemy out of the bullpen, with Schmidt and Primo struggling to command the strike zone.
Evans has only allowed 5 hits this year. Lovich has struck out, singled, and walked. Right.
Evans' first pitch slider for a strike.
That leaves a scar. Strike 2. 8 of the 11 runs in this series by Missouri have come on home runs. And they've come from 4 different players, 5 home runs from 4 different players. The pitch. No. One ball, 2 strikes. Case and Evans trying to unleash his best pitch. It misses wide. That had some heat to it, nearly 97, but low and away.
It's a little different, Lynn. You know, when you pitching in SEC play, the lights on, big crowd. You know, the teams get a little bit better. Everybody's adrenalized. You got to control your emotions.
It's on its way. It's spoiled.
I think we've seen that a little bit Oftentimes it's the opposing team that comes into the box and melts down a little bit under the pressure. I think first-time jitters have maybe gotten to a few LSU Tigers tonight on the bump.
The 2-2 pitch. Just off the plate.
Wow.
That one was 99 miles an hour, but it did not find the strike zone.
Boy, he uncorked this one.
That's wide.
Yeah, and it looks a little worse to the umpire, too, because the Hernandez had set up on the inside corner. He missed away, and even if it did catch the edge, that moving the glove from one end to the other, it's hard to get that call.
The runner at first will be moving. Ground ball, left side. Braswell makes the throw to the mitt of Jones. And the youngster, Kaysen Evans, shores tomorrow for the Tigers against Caden Drew. Two balls, two strikes. The last thing LSU wants is any walks. Now it's 3-2.
Those were up at the letters. The second one was even more up and in. And the veteran hitter for Missouri, who Carrick Jackson been right over his shoulder calling the signals for the team, described as one of the top two leaders on this team.
He has struck out and homered twice. Jones stabs it and then tags the runner. Runners at second and third, though, on the sacrifice bunt. So now it gets even more dicey.
Well, how about that? You talk about being a team leader. You hit a couple homers. You want to swing away, but he's unselfish, gets the bunt down, and does the job, advancing his teammates.
We've got drama in the eighth. Gehrig Goldbeck at the plate. Ball one. Runners at second and third. The tying runner, Lawrence, is at third base. The go-ahead runner, Seals, is at second. And they both have speed. Ball two. Gehrig is 1 for 3. He has walked and scored, lined out to right, singled, and tried to bunt his way aboard. He was thrown out. Ball 3.
Crowd didn't like that one very much. Just off the edge, and they're growing a little frustrated and wanted it.
That's a strike on the inner side of the plate. But still a lot of work to be done by Kaysen Evans and the Tigers defensively. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. And walks have been a tremendous problem for the LSU pitching staff tonight.
Now, what does Jay Johnson do? He's got his guy, Zach Cowan, who has been so good up in the pen.
Ronnie, the bad news is there have been 7 walks. The good news for LSU, only one of those walks has scored, which is a bit amazing. There's a strike. This is the first time that the youngster, Kaysen Evans, has pitched with the bases loaded in a Tiger uniform. Swing and a miss. He desperately needs a strikeout against Cerna. The infield has retreated with 1 out at double play depth.
And LSU's already turned 2 double plays tonight. They could use a third for sure.
Cerna has struck out, walked, fly to
It was an excellent contact.
And how about this? He's hitting .529 with 3. So far this season, his numbers are pretty good.
Yeah, he definitely has had a nice start to his year. There you see what Missouri pitchers have done tonight, but you see Lucas and Jacoby out of the bullpen.
Well, they haven't given up any earned runs. The bullpen hasn't.
That's been outstanding. Not a lot of strikeouts. Surprisingly, the only 2 punch outs. More walks than strikeouts for Missouri as a staff, but yet here they are right in this ball game.
Stanfield has been good at the bottom of the order. He has doubled, reached on a fielder's choice, and scored. And he also had a single in his last at bat. Two and two now. Looking ahead to the 9th, 4, 5, and 6 in the Missouri lineup.
Issue with that was a nice little wrinkle slider on the outside third.
That's when you tip your cap to the pitcher and say, "You got me." Here's Curiel. He's looking for his first base hit, but he's been on base twice with a walk, and he was hit by a pitch. He has grounded twice to second base. Jones is on deck. Been a while since the Tigers have had a base runner. Their last hit was in the 6th inning with 1 out by Dickinson.
You know, Jacoby's just been in the rocking chair flipping strikes. You know, LSU's got the big thunderbolt arms out of the bullpen, but Jacoby's just getting ahead of hitters.
The 1-1. He slings it low. Kentucky beat Georgia to level that series at 1 apiece, 10-7 the final. This morning, Vanderbilt beat Auburn 8-6. Each team has won a game. South Carolina knocked down Oklahoma 11-5 the final. They are 1-1 in that series. Alabama has defeated Texas A&M twice, 6-2 the latest score. Tennessee 10, Florida nothing. That was a 7-inning game. Tennessee has won the first 2 games in that series. They scored 9 runs in the 7th inning, did Tennessee. And you're up to date with 1 game in progress and probably about to get over. Arkansas was leading Ole Miss 9-3 in the 7th inning the last time we checked, but it's farther along than that now. It's 11-3 Arkansas over Ole Miss. If Arkansas wins, that series will be tied at 1 game each.
Curiel right there, and then Dickinson hit a line drive like that to third. Good things happen to pitchers when they throw strikes on a consistent basis, because LSU feels like they probably should have had a base hit right there, and instead it's 2 outs and nobody on.
And Jared Jones steps to the plate. He's 1 for 4. He had a 2-run single in the 4th. He's also flied to right, popped up to the shortstop, and grounded back to the mound. The pitch, check swing and a strike. And we repeat the LSU victory score over Kentucky in softball to go up 2-0. LSU 6, Kentucky 4. Home runs by Bergeron and Edwards for the Lady Tigers. Jones is backed away. His hitting streak is now 5 games. The pitch to the Bear. It curls away. LSU will be protecting a lead going into the ninth.
Now, will it be Case and Evans or Zach Cowan?
Tigers as they try to win for the second time in a row against the Missouri Tigers. Evans back on the hill for the Tigers of LSU. And we've got drama in the top of the ninth, a one-run game. 2-0, you got to throw strikes here.
Well, Jay Johnson not wanting to go to Zach Cowan just yet unless he just absolutely has to. Cowan threw an inning and a third yesterday on 17 pitches. And he's hoping that Case and Evans can get it done without going to Zach, and he can hold him off till tomorrow.
He's thrown 4 pitches. He's missed 3 times. Daniels made that spectacular catch in left field to get to the top of the ninth inning. Now we go to 3-2. Piccarelli and Lovich also scheduled to hit.